Smeagol found it. Let's go and see if it's still there. No. Gollum. Master did not ask. Master did not say what he meant me to do. He does not tell poor Smeagol. So Smeagol is very afraid. But Smeagol must save them both. Nice, Master. Gollum. Precious.
Thank you for joining Storytime with Cedric. This has been Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Join us next time as we read the entirety of Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. Hey, and
welcome to my channel.
Hey, Uncle Kenny! Football! Hey, yeah!
if you're new here, you probably already stopped watching. But if you haven't, my name is Cedric. I'm an actor, a filmmaker, a screenwriter, and a YouTube reactor. We are continuing our deep dive into the BANGTAN universe here with BTS. This is super exciting. I don't have a ton to plug before we jump in, but of course, thank you so much to Anitra at Say What Reacts. You're amazing. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to Jacob Restituto for having me on his channel last week. We had a great long conversation, and if you guys want to learn a bunch of stuff about me that you maybe didn't know, go check that out. There's some hidden gems in there that I haven't talked about on my own channel. So I'm probably going to start sharing those soon, I guess, because now y'all know. Of course, as always, thank you so much to my patrons on Patreon. You guys are amazing and allow me to continue to do this. I am recording at least 2 videos today, maybe 3, all BTS, because my schedule is like nuts over the next few weeks. So I'm trying to get ahead of the curve. So just, you know, they may all be today. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's very exciting. Pull your shoulders back, fix your posture, take a deep breath, make sure you're drinking water. I have a coffee right here that's cooling down, so we'll get there. But in the meantime, let's explore this. Here we go.
We're no strangers to love.
내 기억의 구석 한켠에 자리 잡은 갈색 피아노.
Piano. So we know that pianos are associated with him.
어릴 적 집안의 구석 한켠에 자리 잡은 갈색 피아노.
Even look at the picture above. There's lighting that is made to resemble a piano keyboard up there.
그때 기억해 내 키보다 훨씬 더 컸던 갈색 피아노 그게 나를 끌 때 널 우러러보며 동경했었네 작은 손가락으로 널 어루만질
And of course, piano is the primary instrument in the background.
그저 손 가던 대로 거닐던 건반 그때 너의 의미를 몰랐었네 바라보기만 해도 좋았던 그때 그때 기억해 초등학교 무렵 내 키가 너의 키보다 더 커졌던 그때 그토록 동경했던 널 등하시하며 빼고 갔던 건 방구 위 먼지가 쌓여가며 방치됐던 네 모습 그때도 몰랐었지 너의 의미 내가 어딨던 넌 항상 그 자리 지켰으니 그런데 그게 마지막
So the piano resembles his innocence. He outgrew his innocence in childhood. I'm guessing.
널 처음 만났던 그때가 생각나 어느새 훌쩍 커버렸네 네가 우리 관계 마침 별찍지만 절대 내게 미안해 하지마 어떤 형태로도 날 다시 만나게 될 거야 그때 반갑게 다시 맞아줘 그때 기억해 까맣게 잊고 있었던 널 다시 마주했던 때 14살 무렵 어색도 잠시 다시 널 어루만졌지 긴 시간 떠나 있어도 절대 거부감 없이 날 받아주었던 너 Without you I'm nothing 새벽을 지나서 둘이서 함께 맞는 아침 영원히 넌 나의 손을 놓지 마 나도 다시 널 놓지 않을 테니까 그때 기억해 나의 10대의 마지막
Burned up, burning the pianos. Oh my gosh. Oh man, this is good. I have chills.
내 기억의 구석 한켠에 자리 잡은 갈색 피아노 어릴 적 집안의 구석 한켠에 자리 잡은 갈색 피아노
I don't know why that, like, I was like getting choked up. Like I teared up a little bit for some reason. I think because it was so intense. There's such a beautiful performance build up in his voice, because at the beginning he's kind of doing this like that brown piano in the corner. Like he's doing a lot of I talked about the vocal fry with V last week, and it's very like he was doing a lot of that, and then he started getting more intense and was almost like yelling, and it was so it was just intense. It was like a storm inside him, like a fire inside him. And this piano, I'm betting, is supposed to be his innocence or his childhood. There was this magnificent thing that made music, and eventually that loses its allure as you get older and you kind of grow past that. And I don't know. The orchestration was amazing. Starting on the piano, which it was more subtle than you might think. At least for me, I didn't even notice it for a little bit, that he was rapping about the piano and we were hearing essentially just a piano. But then to add the orchestra the way they did, I was covered in chills. I got really choked up. I couldn't pause it. I felt like I couldn't move. I was just, I don't know. That really kind of hit me. Now I'm really excited to see the short film. I just want to get straight into that. That was magnificent. I really like Suga. I like all of them. They're all so good. Big hit music and artist for healing? Entertainment.
There are numerous ways in which God can make us lonely and lead us back to ourselves. This was the way He dealt with me at that time.
Oh, lighting. Red, gorgeous. Out of tune piano. Okay, listen, sorry, I had to record this. I'm editing right now. I'm editing right there on the computer. You can see it. And I just noticed the song he's playing on the piano is absolutely Begin. Like it's an adaptation of Begin, Jungkook's song, and the whistle, I mentioned it in the video probably in like 3 or 4 seconds from now. I don't know. It was soon after this. But the whistling, I couldn't remember what it was from. It's from Begin. It's Jungkook. And of course they're connected. So Suga and Jungkook. So is Suga somehow calling out to Jungkook, who's in his coma or whatever he is, and Jungkook is answering. The whistle is Jungkook answering. Or is someone calling both of them, and through that portal that's behind Jungkook with the wings coming out of him, that somehow someone's calling both of them from there? Or does what happens here in a bit, which I'll get to, does that somehow impact this? I couldn't just leave a note on this. This blew my mind. I was sitting here going, I know this. I couldn't place it. And then I just kind of went, well, I think it might be Begin. And I went and I looked up Begin. And yeah. What? Whoa. Okay, anyway, back to the reaction, but this changes everything. Everything. Okay, bye. I'll see you soon.
Oh, hello.
I have something to mention. Oh, I've heard that theme. Where have I heard that theme? something that was really interesting was when he was sitting at the piano, they had a light behind him that was not a practical. It was literally there to light him, because it wouldn't make sense for that light to be on the floor of a store. So I think that there's a reason that they did that, and I think that the reason is because we're not dealing with an explicit reality here, and that is actually serving as a reminder in the frame that what we're looking at is not real. It's an altered reality. And I thought that was really interesting. Plus, it gave them this beautiful lens flare. And while he's kind of doused in red, it gave us this nice light coming from behind him as well. And it just made the shot more interesting. So look for things like that. Where do people put lights in the frame, and do they look like practicals? So, for example, if this lamp over here was turned on, that would be a practical. But I don't really want to move the camera. But I guess I'll do that. One sec. But, like, I wouldn't want you guys to see necessarily that I've got a light here, right? The practicals in my shot that you're looking at would be the lamp and the window. Those would be practical light sources. Generally, you want to have some of both because it just, you want to fill from off camera, but still have things in the world that are lighting so people know. You want the audience to know where the light is coming from. Anyway, that was a really interesting choice. Having it bathed in red, I assume that was on a doorway dolly when they kind of pushed forward as he went to pick up the rock, but that motion made it really intense all of a sudden. Like, it felt like you wanted to tell him to stop, and he wouldn't. And that was the idea of him breaking in just to play the piano. What a fascinating opening. And then he only played for a few seconds and then sort of got lost. This so far has been one of the best representations of mental health that I have ever seen in media. This video right here, this is really good. Also, when I said I think Jungkook was living in, he's kind of the mental one, he's not necessarily in the reality. This so far would be confirming that, because this is more like V's, where it's sort of a minimalist, abstract approach to truth versus Jungkook's, which is definitely abstract, but they're not attempting to reflect reality with his. They're breaking the rules of physics and reality with his, and they're not with Suga's. So far. I love that shot construction. Look at the way they're using those lights, and it made that camera motion that much smoother. Touch angle. Now we see blood on the ground. So is that what Jungkook heard in his video? It's gotta be. Back at the bathtub. Beautiful score. So that combined with Jimin's. Wait, what? What? What are the rules of physics for these circles? I don't get it. About the video. That was really good filmmaking. That was really, really good filmmaking, guys. Everything about that was really, really well done. They took every single thing. The score at the end was... you guys know I love movie scores, and I love strings. Like cello, violin, that is my favorite instrument to be hearing in a score. So that coming over top, and it was very kind of warm and comforting. It wasn't intense, even though he was looking at this car accident with the piano on fire, which we've seen several times now. We've seen it several times. So this now connects him with Jimin and Jungkook. So far they've been in pairs, and we've seen them all together, but I didn't know that they were going to start branching off into these little groups too. So now we know that Jimin and Jungkook are both connected to Suga's narrative in a very intentional way. So that was really, really interesting. At the end, did you notice that when the fire was coming up with that orange and red, that the building took on a little bit of a green hue? So again, they're going with that red and green type of color matching that makes it a little bit uncomfortable as we look at it. I'm really, really interested by this. This was really cool. I liked everything that they did with this. I liked the way they shot in the store. The street sequence was really interesting because he's running away. He dodges the car. It sounds like he gets hit. We see blood on the ground, and yet the car has run into the store. So did he ever actually leave the store? Was that part just kind of him dreaming as he ran away, or him like projecting himself and then he was still in the store when it got hit by that car? Maybe. So did he die? Is that why Jungkook is waking up in a coma or in that hospital bed? Because they're connected in that way. Is that what happened there? Did Jimin cause it? So in Jimin's video, he has that smile, he takes the bite out of the apple, and there's a little bit of a sort of... I don't want to say this about my bias, but there's a little bit of a sort of evil nature to the way Jimin was performing in his, hammering himself, and things were going negative as if he's fighting against his own very nature of existence. So I'm willing to bet that Jimin is somehow causing some of these things. Jimin's kind of a representation of the dark side of things. And again, with the piano resembling innocence for Suga, if he's sitting there trying to recapture innocence, recapture his first love, and then he dies doing that, or gets hit by a car doing that, or is made to feel wrong and bad for doing that, that's a really interesting take on human nature and the human condition. So, yeah, I have a lot of questions on this one, but I really loved that. And I feel like we're really starting to connect a lot of dots here, and things are starting to make sense. So this is super exciting. I really look forward to... I don't know who's next, but I love these short films. You guys are absolutely right months ago when you said that I needed to watch these. I'm so glad I waited until I knew who they all were. But these are brilliant. I mean, these should be shown in film classes for students, for people that want to know how to make really interesting, even abstract art. Like, these are experimental film at its finest. So I love this. Thank you so much for sharing in this journey with me, and I can't wait for the next video. I appreciate your guys' patience if I do have to have delays on videos. Like I said, I'm filming a lot, which is really exciting. I'm also getting ready to move, so it's a busy time. So I appreciate all of your patience with that, and I know you guys are amazing. I said this in my interview with Jacob Restituto, but I literally have the best subscribers on YouTube. The Sedgehogs are the best, and I really appreciate you guys. More than I can say. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for experiencing this with me, and I can't wait for our next one. But until then, be safe, take care of yourselves, and bye.